Hi, welcome to the Denson's Kitchen. Today I am making homemade banana bread. This is a recipe that was handed down to us from my husband's Aunt Vicky, and it is the best banana bread I've ever had. So I am making 3 loaves today. We're getting prepped up for the coming school week, and I love this recipe because after I cook it, I can freeze it. I can stick it in my freezer and have it ready to go any morning for a quick breakfast if the kids need food out the door. This is one of my favorite recipes to do that with. So I'm gonna get started, and your first ingredient is bananas, obviously. So I normally do between 2 and 4 bananas per loaf. So I've got here 10 bananas since I'm doing 3 loaves. This is one of the things I have my kids do a lot. Catherine especially loves to peel a banana peel off and get them all in because they can be a little bit messy. And there, for the next step, there's a couple of options you can go with. If you want mushy bananas, like some people like to have kind of banana chunks in their banana bread. If you want that, I would suggest keeping one or at least one banana set aside to put in at the very end, and when you mix it in, that way you'll still have those banana chunks. I like mine all combined. I don't like little chunks of bananas in it. So when I cream them with my eggs, and it's 2 eggs and 1 stick of butter. You can go unsalted because you do add salt to this recipe. It's never bothered me one way or the other. Most of my butter is salted, but I really like salt. So you can decide for yourself what you want to do with that. And then I'm going to put the sugar in, and the sugar will help break down all of your stuff in here, your eggs, your butter, your bananas. I opened the flour. Lizzie's on camera duty today, and she's like, that's not sugar, Mom. So it is 1 cup of sugar. So I'm gonna get that in here, and I'm going to put it all in my mixer and get it creamed. And once it's nice and soft, I will come back to you. Okay, I have my butter and my bananas and my sugar and my eggs all creamed, and you can still see a little bit of chunks here and there. Those will all get mixed out once I get it started. So now I'm going to put in my dry ingredients. So I have, let's start with our baking powder. It's 1 teaspoon of baking powder for 1 loaf. So I'm going to go ahead and do 3. And then it is 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, so baking powder and baking soda. Get those in there. So when I was creaming it, I was thinking I use my my KitchenAid mixer with a paddle attachment. If you don't have that, you can use a potato masher to mash them up. You could use your
whisk.
A whisk. The bananas maybe with a fork, and once you've got them mashed up enough, then you could use a whisk. The bananas and the butter. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can still make this, even if you don't have a big old expensive KitchenAid. Next is my salt, and that is also 1/2 teaspoon. I'm putting in 1 1/2. Okay, so that is and next is my flour. Sorry, 2 cups of flour. So I'm going to put a whole bunch in flour in here. My pot is going to be nice and full. So when I do my flour, I have it in this bucket and I kind of fluff it up a little bit. You don't want your flour to be compacted in there. You want your flour to be light. So I fluff it up and then I just kind of shake it off. I don't use a knife to level it because that will compact it down again. How many cups am I at, Liz?
3.
Okay.
I think.
4. You see how full my mixer is. 5.
It'll slowly compact
And
down.
6.
Eventually.
It will compact down. So that is the original recipe. I like to add about half a teaspoon of vanilla and about half a teaspoon of cinnamon. It just kind of brings out those extra flavors, and I like everything to taste like Christmas. So I put cinnamon.
Beginning to taste a lot like Christmas.
That's right. So I put cinnamon in almost everything. But I really like the flavor that it brings out, and it doesn't taste like cinnamon, but it just brings out, I am out of cinnamon. It brings out that banana flavor. So I'm going to give you a mix. Not mixing you. I'm going to give this a mix, and then I will come right back to you. Hi, we're back. So I've got this all mixed, and make sure to scrape down your sides, get everything mixed in, make sure it's thorough. You can still see little bits of chunks of butter and a little bit of banana. Those will be just fine. It's not gonna make it like lumpy or anything. It'll just bake in and make it ooey gooey goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna start pouring these in. I've got my oven preheated to 350. And it is going to bake for 1 hour. Now, once this comes out of the oven, you want to let it cool completely before you start eating it, or before you store it for later. I love it on day 1, but it is great even after we freeze it. It comes out really good. It just kind of gives all those flavors time to marinate almost. Some other options for this, I love chopped walnuts in it. My kids hate that. So I don't do it very often, but when I want the banana bread for me, and they get to just enjoy it if they choose, I will put chopped walnuts in there. It gives it just a rounded out flavor, really nice. And you can put chocolate chips in it as well. I never do that. I don't like chocolate chips in bread. But I have heard really good things about how good that tastes. I even had somebody that I was talking to that put a little bit of peanut butter in it. So it's peanut butter, banana, and then chocolate chips, which just sounded delicious. So if you're not allergic to peanut butter, give that a try. Okay, so I've got these all in my pans, my greased pans, and I will stick them in the 350-degree oven for 1 hour. Hi, the banana bread is all done, so I'm going to move it to my cooling rack. So I pulled it out of my oven after an hour, and then I let it sit in its pans for about 10 minutes. And now I'm going to pull it out. You see, it's nice and golden brown, and you will smell it. You kind of get to a point where you can recognize the smell of it being done or not. So I'm just softening up the sides with my plastic knife. And now I'm going to drop it out right there and flip my dough bread back up. Get this one. And you can see it'll crack a little bit on the top. You see it cracks a little bit on the top, and that is okay. That one, woohoo, 2 for 2. Let's see if we can get 3 to come out nicely. You do definitely want to butter your pans. I just use pan spray. 3 for 3. Okay. So now that we've got these, I flip them over because otherwise they get the pattern for my cooling rack. So we're gonna let these cool completely, and then we will be back with our taste test. Okay, we are finally ready for the taste test, and I've got Catherine and Sammy here, and they are very ready to have a slice of this banana bread, huh?
Yeah.
So we normally like to have a little butter with it. So I'll get a couple of these going. We let it rest probably for about 45 minutes. That's how long it took.
I want that piece. No.
You don't want the end?
I'll have it.
You want the end?
And the crust is good to me.
Even the crust. That's
I don't want
saying
that
something
crust.
for her. You want this one? What do you think, Catherine?
Delicious.
Delicious. What do you think, Sammy? He's so yummy.
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. There is our banana bread. I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, some tips on how to store this. So you can just stand it up on the end and store it just like that. If you know you're going to eat the rest of it tomorrow morning, it'll be fine just like that sitting on your counter. You can put it in a bread bag if it's going to be a day or two before you get through it, and with a little twist tie on the end. If you are going to freeze it, I usually put mine in the bread bag with the twist tie, and then I put that loaf inside a freezer Ziploc bag and stick it in the fridge or freezer. And I would say stay good up to 6 months, around there. Yeah, we love it. If I know I'm going to have it for breakfast the next morning with the kids and I have it frozen, I just pull it out of my freezer and stick it on my counter the night before, and the next morning it is ready to go.